Good morning. Welcome to the December 7th edition of Nasdaq Advisory Live. We're powered by Nasdaq IR Insight. I'm your host, Will Briganti, and joining me today from Nasdaq Advisory Services is Senior Director Myles Clouston. Myles, thanks so much for being back on the program.
Pleasure, Will. Always great to be here.
So we are talking about economic data, and when we're talking about economic data, we typically talk with Myles. So thanks again for joining us today. So we're going to talk today about the Jobless Claims report that came out this morning, as well as some other economic employment data that's going to come out tomorrow. So let's start with Jobless Claims.
Perfect, Will.
Give us a rundown on what happened.
Yeah, so the number came in slightly better than expected. We came in with a number of 236,000, which was a decline by 2,000, and better than what the street was expecting for the initial jobless claims of around 240,000. And overall, too, the 4-week average, which just kind of smooths things out nicely, was just north of 240,000, so continues to show a very healthy labor market.
Okay. Now, if I was a member of the Federal Reserve Board, what would I be thinking right now as I'm looking at the employment situation in the U.S.?
Well, we have the jobs data tomorrow, the employment number, and that's expected to come in around 4.1%.
Okay.
And the non-farm payrolls is supposed to come in around 200,000. So overall, I think on the jobs front, you've got to be feeling really good at the Federal Reserve level, and very good all around, actually. We really have a tight labor market. And so also from a company standpoint and an employer standpoint, they're really having to do a really good job to maintain talent because of the tightness in the job market right now. So they don't want to be losing people. So it's a good problem to have overall with where we have unemployment.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about, I mean, obviously we're in the middle of the holiday season.
Yes.
How does the seasonality of, sort of short-term employment at some of the retail stores, for example, or supply chain companies, shipping companies like UPS and Federal Express, how does that sort of play into the number going into the next month?
It should definitely play into the number. There's, some of those retail sectors have that sort of dial up, dial down type of model, and so a lot of that will be factored in. So we'll probably see some strong numbers in the next coming weeks to month around the employment numbers. But a lot of that will be baked into what the expectations of the street.
How did the market respond to the number?
The market's up today, so overall favorable, but there's obviously a lot of other dynamics going on in the market, but it was a favorable number. But also expectations were for continued strength in the labor market, so no surprise. We also had a stronger than expected ADP number yesterday, and so that could tee up things, for the expectations for tomorrow's data too.
Okay, great. You mentioned some other factors. What are some of those other factors that are sort of contributing to the market rally?
Well, tax reform is absolutely top of mind. The Senate have passed their side, the House have kind of moved forward with their side. Now they're really coming together to try and find some middle ground and try and make concessions where they can. And especially they're hoping to get it done sooner than later. I know that they've put kind of a deadline, so they're going to hopefully work hard and we'll get something. The top things really in mind are still around the AMT, where the corporate tax rate will end up, as well as the SALT, the state and local taxes. So those are three of the things that I think are going to need a little bit of hashing out before they can get to a decision, which hopefully they will.
All right, well, Myles, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for that terrific insight.
Thank you, Will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Myles Clouston, Senior Director at Nasdaq Advisory Services. For more information about our advisory services team and other information and insight available to the investor relations industry, be sure to check out our website. That's business.nasdaq.com. Thank you so much. We'll be back to you next week. Be sure to tune in. Have a great day.